Welcome everyone, thank you so much for joining in. Guys, today's video is actually going to be a very interesting video because I'm going to include both the bullish and the bearish scenario unfolding right now for Bitcoin price action. So before I dive into the content, I would also really appreciate if you could smash the like button, hit the subscribe button and the bell if you're watching this for the first time. So now if we dive into the content, guys, and look at this current Bitcoin price action, you can see I told you I've talked about this scenario, this bullish cross and the bearish cross scenario. But if you look at this current Bitcoin price action, you can see the green line, which is the 20 exponential moving average, crossing over the 50 exponential moving average, giving us an indication that, hey, in this case, this crossover which we saw here is actually a very bullish scenario because this crossover happened here, this crossover happened here. You can see all the green boxes that indicates the 20 exponential moving average crossing the 50 exponential moving average. And to the downside, this RSI above this 50 level did give us a double confirmation that, hey, when we see this kind of price over this 20 exponential moving average crossing over the 50 exponential moving average and also the RSI line above this 50 level, that indicates the trend is actually bullish. We had this scenario here, we also had this here in the RSI above 50 level, and now you can see here, guys, now this here right now this RSI is also above 50 level and we are just witnessing this crossover, and this crossover is actually an indication the trend is very bullish. And to the downside, you can see the check-in money flow CMF is also showing a strong trend because now you can see this here, the CMF is clearly above the zero line and this is also showing the strength. And if you look to the upside, you can see RSI is also over 50 and we are also seeing this bullish crossover, which is indicating that, hey, this trend which actually is showing some sort of like hesitation to break to the upside. But if you look here with the RSI, the CMF and also this moving averages, this is actually indicating the trend here is very bullish. And if you look at this current scenario in a different perspective, we can also see that the price of Bitcoin in a bigger time frame is also very bullish. Let me show you the chart. So now if we look at this price action of Bitcoin, we can look in weekly, we can look in monthly, doesn't matter. So let's look in monthly time frame, right, in a bigger time frame. If we look at this current Bitcoin price structure, guys, and look at this price level, the price never got opportunity to close above this level, this 10,700 10,800 price level. But now if you look at this, this is a confirmation that now this previous resistance line is a very strong support for Bitcoin. And not only that, you know, I have talked about one scenario plenty of time in my video. When you see this kind of price structure happening, I told you guys what to expect when you see this price structure unfolding. And I also showed you with this triangle example, right? When you see price making this kind of price structure here, this kind of price structure which has unfolded in the past Bitcoin price action, which led to a very bullish move, guys, this is actually pointing out that, hey, if the similar scenario is going to unfold also here right now, I will show you with this 1 2 3 4 buy reversal pattern. So this is actually indicating that, hey, we enter the market after price closes above this price level of 2 area, and this 2 area right now, this is exactly where we are finding support and we are also clearly above this, right? And according to this analysis, the price, you measure the target area, this 4 area, if you take the length here from 1 to the second point area. So I could have actually taken it all the way to the upside where we got this big weak rejection, but I want to look at this bit properly. I mean where the candle actually closed, right, the body closed. So in this case, from 1 to 2 we have this length here, and if you take this from where the price actually starts breaking, and you can see here, this was the point where the price broke this trend line, and now it's also showing us an indication it could be going even higher. So in this case, this is pointing out that the price of Bitcoin could actually go easily around this 16 to 17,000 price level according to this 1 2 3 4 buy reversal pattern looking at monthly time frame. So now we can see the trend looks very bullish, right? So guys, now this here is a very interesting chart, and I actually haven't seen many people talking about this particular scenario. And why this is actually so important is that because if you look at this current Bitcoin price structure where we are, this monthly candle open level for October, for September, for August, those lines are actually playing a very important role looking at this current Bitcoin price action. Because if you look at this price structure here from the beginning since March here, guys, this candle here, this was the 1st of April. So you can see, where did the 1st of candle open? It opened exactly here. That's why I drew this green line from there. And why I'm actually doing this for each and every month, right? This monthly candle close open for May. This was the monthly candle open for May. This here was for the June. You can see for the July was this candle. For August was this candle, and everywhere. Why it is so important is because if you look at this monthly candle open for April, you can see when we had price pull back, you can see the monthly candle open for April acted as a support, and after that we saw this price pump. And same here, you can see price after reaching the monthly candle open level, it found a very strong support, and you can see that very clearly, guys, and here as well. But once the price failed to close above it, the same monthly candle open line acted as a resistance, and you can see this very clearly here, right? So we had a new month, the monthly candle open for July, which was here. So you can see when the price actually opened above it, we had a strong support all the way here. But as soon as we broke above this previous monthly candle level here of June, guys, that was a very bullish indication, because after that we didn't have any resistance line, the monthly candle open level acting as a resistance on top of us. So we had this really nice price pump, right? But now if we look at this current scenario, this here was from the September month, and you can see the price now is finding a really strong resistance at this previous monthly candle open level. So this right now here, this right now is for the October month, and you can already see how the price actually reacted to that, right? So now you can see where we are trapped in between the August, the monthly candle open level for August, and the September. So this is indicating that, hey, the monthly candle open for August is a very strong support, and you can see that very clearly here as well. And also the same line is another support for the current Bitcoin price action. That's why I'm showing you this chart, to show you guys, hey, if we break above this price level here of 11,600, things could go very bullish for Bitcoin, because after that we don't have any monthly candle open level acting as a resistance. But if the price actually fails to hold this monthly candle level for August, where we have another monthly candle open level, which is exactly here, guys, and that is around 10,780 price level. So this means if the price of Bitcoin fails to hold this ground, we have to be careful, because the price could actually go towards the previous monthly candle open level for October. So this case, you can see this here is another support area for Bitcoin. As long as we are holding this price level, right, this monthly candle open level for August, we are actually absolutely fine. But I'm just showing you, in case if we break below it, maybe we could see price coming to the monthly candle open level of October. So guys, we have to be very careful, and as I said you, if you break above it, whoa, because we know after that we could see a very massive pump to the upside. So now guys, I'm actually going to show you a very bearish scenario that could also be unfolding right now for Bitcoin price action. So now let's switch the chart. So now if we look at this price structure of Bitcoin, guys, this right now is one very important chart for Bitcoin to identify if the trend is actually a bearish or a bullish trend. Because right now, if we look at this price structure with the help of this WYCKOFF distribution phase, guys, this here is actually pointing out that the price of Bitcoin is inside this WYCKOFF distribution phase. Because you can see here, this here has played out pretty well, because I drew this drawing yesterday, and look at this price after reaching this resistance line, it did found a very strong resistance. And you can see this weak rejection here, this weak rejection here. This resistance line was the previous ST, the secondary test, and the buying climax area. So this buying climax line and the secondary test area, this here is a very strong resistance. And if the price of Bitcoin is going to reject this line, this could actually indicate we are inside this LPSY area, last point of supply, which represent the exhaustion of demand. So this LPSY is a very interesting scenario right now for Bitcoin, because you can also see this big weak rejection, and now we are seeing this another weak rejection here, which is showing that the market is having difficulty to advance. So this is also a sign that, hey, we have to be careful, because right now this is actually panning out to be a Wyckoff distribution phase. So when would this Wyckoff distribution be invalid? That if the price actually closes above the previous LPSY area. So in this case, the price must close above this 11,620 area. So if we close above this, this would actually indicate us, hey, now this whole scenario is invalid, because the price has clearly broken over the previous LPSY area, and this is a sign that it's going to continue to the upside. But now if we look at this previous LPSY area and this resistance line did act as a resistance, and you can see price also showing some sort of reversal. So in this case, if this is actually going to pan out like Wyckoff distribution phase, we will see price could actually come around this 10,780 level. So guys, this one chart is also a very interesting chart, looking at this current price action of Bitcoin, because if you look to the downside and notice this volume, guys, this volume right now is also pointing out that, hey, right now there is a very weak amount of demand at this current stage. The volume never lies, and if you look at the volume around this area is not showing any sort of like a possible movement. So that's why looking at this with the Wyckoff distribution phase is actually a very interesting scenario, because you can see this automatic rally area, guys, this is actually a support line, and when we had the price retesting that area, we did found a support. So that also make this Wyckoff distribution phase even more valid, and also getting rejection after reaching the previous resistance line is also giving us an indication that, hey, we have to be careful, because this could turn out to be a Wyckoff distribution phase. So as I said you, if we break above this LPSY area, that is actually going to make this whole Wyckoff distribution phase invalid. So you can see you got both image, the bullish and the bearish. So now let's wait for price to give us a proper trend direction. And also guys, keep in mind, tomorrow is actually going to be a very exciting day for us, because tomorrow the US Federal Reserve Chairman Jeremy Powell will speak at the International Monetary Fund annual meeting, and they will discuss about the benefit and risk of cross-border digital currencies, and as well as their policy implications. So guys, wait, because tomorrow if something good come out of this, we can see price going very parabolic. So if something negative is going to come out from that meeting, then we can see price reacting very negatively. So guys, tomorrow is actually a very interesting day. And also guys, if you are still unaware of my private group, the link to my private group is in the description down below, or also feel free to check the pinned comment section. On my private group, I place some of my trades. I show you guys when I'm actually going to enter the market, where I'm going to exit the market, and what are my target areas. It is actually completely free to join my private group. You just have to follow some instruction. The instruction is you have to use my Bybit ref link, deposit 0.03 Bitcoin minimum, and just send me the UID. That is all you need to do. So by saying this, I'm signing off. You guys have a great day. Bye bye.